Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in for my card reviews. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the most recent ones that have been revealed today. I'm going to try to make my videos within like 15, 20 minutes, and so it's going to be broken up into different sections that will come out, throughout the days. I don't want I tried to record it once already and it came out to be like 48 minutes. And I don't think anyone wants to watch like one whole video of me reviewing cards for 48 minutes. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Let me know. All right, let's hop into it. So, first up we got is Priestess Voyage. Yeah, anyways. So it's a 0 cost. What? 1/1 Naga. Legendary Priest Minion. Battle Cry, refresh an empty mana crystal for each spell you've cast this turn. And that's freaking awesome, I think. I mean, it's probably not something you're going to play initially. You could do some like weird, cheap early turn thing if you wanted to. But I think more or less it's going to be like more mid to late game-ish kind of a thing, like maybe turn 6. Because, it's not the cost of the spell, it's every spell you've played. And Priest is going to be rotating out a lot of the cheap spells they play. Like, this would have been nuts if it was, like, during this last rotation we had. Because the Priest was doing a whole bunch of cheap spells, playing a bunch of spells all at once. This then when it came down, refreshed all your mana, it would have been nuts. There wouldn't be enough time in the turn for Priest to do all the crazy crap that they were doing. But I think it's a great card. Also like to mention, I'm going to be doing a rating system, but I'll be waiting until like after all the cards have came out and the new core sets out. So I'll like show you excitement with my cards that I'm happy for, ones that I'm not, and you can kind of judge it on that. And then I'll eventually do like a hey 5 or 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, whatever, if I think they're going to be good or viable. And I mean, what do I know? So we'll just see. All right, moving on. Next up, we have the Rogue Legendary Colossal. It's Krakatoa, a 6/5, 6 mana, legendary. Colossal 2, so you're going to have 2 appendages that pop out. Your Krakatoa claws have +2 attack. So let's go ahead and look over. We got the Krakatoa claws are 2/1 minions with Rush and Death Rattle equipped to 2/1 claw. And so as you can see, there's the left side of it, the right side of it. They both are the same. And then the weapon, which is a 2/1. Now, as I've already looked into it, the +2 attack for the claws apply to the weapon as well. So you can rush into a minion for 4. It dies. You get a 4/1 weapon that can attack. Then have the other one rush in, and then you have a new weapon for next turn, which sounds pretty freaking awesome. It's 6, so it's kind of low curve, and maybe can go on that weird pirate thing that Rogue's trying to do. It's not that expensive, so it'll probably be, later in the curve. Or, I don't know really where this fits into Rogue, but we'll find out. I like it. Alright, next we have a 0-cost spell for Druid, rare, aquatic form. As Dredge, which, dredges look at the bottom 3 cards, you get to choose one of them and put one to the top. Sorry. I had to make sure I had my timer. So it says Dredge. If you have the mana to play the card this turn, draw it, which is nice because Dredge is normally put it at the top rather than drawing it. So if you have the mana for it, you draw it instead. And I believe they have a similar card to that. What is it? Oh, no, it's Priest that has that one, where it's you discover a Death Rattle card, and if you have the mana to cast it, I think it's Death Rattle ability. No, it gets played, or it's Death Rattle ability. I don't know. I'll have to look into it later. But it's really freaking cool. I like it. And the best thing is this with one of the other draw abilities where they have discover a copy of a card in your deck. If you can play it this turn, draw the actual copy. So you'll be able to use that with the aquatic form. That'd be really nice. Moving on. We have 1 mana, common. Add 3 1/1 Piranha Swarmers to your hand. And if you don't know what a Piranha Swarmer is, it's one of these guys. It's a 1-cost minion, 1/1. This is an actual card. And it has Rush. After you summon a Piranha Swarmer, gain +1 attack. And they have them all different colors. They have blue ones, red ones, green ones, and orange, I want to say. Yeah, because that's yellow. And so, you will get 3 to your hand. So the first one you play will be a 1/1. The next one you play will be, it will cause the first one to be a 2/1. And then the first one will be you'll have a 3/1, a 2/1, and a 1/1 for 3 mana. So let's see, that's 3, 2, 1, that's 5, that'd be 6. 6, 3 in stats, all with Rush. So, I mean, not bad. Not bad for 3 mana to cast it out. It's good, I think, border removal, possibly, you know. Well, moving on. Alright, next up we have a 1-cost common Druid card, Asarjan Gardens. And I've noticed anything usually with the Asarjan name into it. I hope I'm saying that right, I don't know. Usually has the, it's not really a name type, but it's, I think they call it a Sunken kind of thing. And what it does, it allows you to put cards at the bottom of your library. And you'll see it throughout them. Or this one, for instance, is 1 cost. Give all minions in your hand, +1/+1. Put a Sunken Gardens on the bottom of your deck. And this is the card that goes at the bottom, Sunken Gardens. Love that artwork. Oh, it's beautiful. And Sunken Gardens gives +1/+1 to all minions in your hand, deck, and battlefield. And that's just a great in general buff. So whatever you have in play, in your deck, whatever you have in your hand, they're all going to get a bonus. And you would sometimes think 1/1, well, that's not that big of a deal. But there was a time where there's this card, Prince Keleseth. If you had no other 2-cost minions, it'd give all the rest of your minions in your hand +1/+1. And that thing was pretty frickin' awesome. Also, it's worth noting, we just saw that 0-cost dredge card, right? So, play a Sergeant Gardens, 0 cost, you know, play that. So, if this was turn 2, then you could do that, then get that, and then do it again. So, that'd be pretty freaking nuts. Going on. So, next we have Coral Keeper. It's a 5-cost, 3/4 for Shaman, rare, Battlecry. Summon a 3/3 elemental for each spell school that you've cast this game. And so far, I think Shaman only does 3 spells right now for 3 spell schools. So you have Fire, Nature, and Frost. And so, at most, I think, I mean, I don't really know if there's other spells that they find that's like Shadow or, you know, Arcane, at least to my knowledge right now. And so you're going to Battlecry at most, summon 3/3 elementals for each spell school you've cast this game. And at 5th turn, if you've already summoned or cast a Nature, Fire, and Frost spell, that's going to be what in stats? That's 3 times 4. So that's give you 12. And then 15. Or 12, 13. So that's 12, 13 worth of stats. That's pretty nice. For turn 5, I mean, that's a decent sized board. That's going to be 4 minions. Decent sized. It's going to be pretty freaking sick if you can do that. It could be a good card. Could not be a good card. I mean, 5 mana for a 3/4. If you only cast one type of spell school, it's going to not feel all that great. It's still going to be 6, 7 worth of stats, which is okay. I mean, 5 for 6, 7 is nice. But, you know, it depends. And the best part is with this one, at least I know some of the Nagas we've seen will come up as you know, you have to have them in your hand. This one, as well as that Priest one, are usually not so much based as being in your hand. Alright, next up we have a 3-cost, 3/3 or 3/2 rare Naga Handmaiden for Priest. It has Battlecry. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, draw 3 cards. And I mean that's pretty nice. You know, here's that, you know, Naga kind of hang up where they're very spell dependent. So if you top deck this, you're gonna have to hope you have 3 spells to use, or else this is just gonna be a 3 mana 3/2, which isn't that great in stats, and it's just gonna flop. It's gonna feel bad when you draw it, and you know. But I mean, you know, start off the game, it's in your hand, you play 3 other spells. Oh, it's gonna feel great to play it. But top decking it, it's going to kind of suck. So it's going to kind of fall middle of the board, I think. Next up, we have the Fires of Zen Ashari. It's a 2-cost epic. And what happens when you play it? It's a fire spell. Worth noting, I guess, for Warrior. I don't know if they really have too many labeled spells. It replaces your deck with minions that cost 5 or more, and then they cost 5. So you could have some 10-cost minions. They're going to cost 5 or whatever. Anything between 5 to 10 or more will only cost 5. Now, this, I would say you wouldn't want to cast this as soon as possible, maybe, but you'd probably want to make sure that you had some sort of draw engine going on. There's a really good weapon that is a 3/3, you attack, kills a minion, you get to draw a card. So that'd be good. Just, other ways to draw cards, because if you just play this right away and you don't have any way to draw, then all you're doing is just slowly top decking, and you'd have to hope one of those minions that you're playing is good enough. Now, I mean, I don't know what the average is. I'd have to look at all the 5+ cost cards, minions, and then figure out, well, how does this work? And I don't have that math in my head right now, but I'll get back to you on that, okay? Hold me to it. Next up, we have, for 3 cost, an epic Bioluminescence. It's a nature spell, and it gives your minion spell damage +1. So, I wouldn't say played before that 1 minion, or with those little piranhas. What you could do is give those 4 minions that you had, +1 spell damage, which would be nice. If they were still around, depending on the next turn. I see this being played definitely more late game, or with the Shaman spell with the overloads. The more you keep playing, the more you progress the quest at the very end. The payoff is you get to double your amount of spells. So, if you could cast this twice, giving all your minions spell damage +2, which you're obviously going to throw into a decently heavy spell, minion, just deck, I would think, it could be a really nice payoff. Having like 3 minions with spell damage +1 is going to be +6 spell damage. And so, like, Lightning Bolt becomes 9 damage per that cast twice in this theory that I'm talking about. And so that's 18 damage right there. It's going to be nice. And plus, whatever you've been doing throughout the game to bring them down. I think it's going to be a good card. It's not going to hit that well if you only have, like, 1 or 2 minions. And so, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It looks nice. I like how pretty it looks. I bet it look great as a shiny. Alright, now we have, for Demon Hunter, a 4 cost, 5/3, Asharan Defector, which, like I said, Asharan, so that means, its ability states Rush, Death Rattle, put a Sunken Defector on the bottom of your deck. So, with it being Asharan, we get a Sunken card that goes along with it. And so, it's a 4 mana, 5/3 with charge. After this attack, deal 5 damage to a random enemy minion. And with a Demon Hunter, I don't really know how well that's going to pan out, because usually they're mainly focused on just attack, and go. And they have some demon synergies. I don't know how well this will work. The best part about it, I will mention, is that it has, Rush. And so it's 3, it's a good, like, get rid of a minion, and that allows it to be at the bottom. So if you already have some Dredge synergy to go in there, you'll be able to get it out of the bottom pretty easily. And Demon Hunter in general has a lot of good draw. So, like a Glide or something. Well, if Glide sticks around, we'll have to really see what's coming out in the core set. Alright, we have the Mage Legendary minion. It's a 4 cost. Commander Savara has Battle Cry. It's a 3/5 Naga. If you cast 3 spells while holding this, and add those spells back to your hand. So, anytime while you're holding this, you cast 3 different spells. They're going to end up coming back to your hand. And I think this is a crazy card. Like, really good. But once again, like with most Nagas, you top deck this, it's really going to fall flat. You can't use it. You're not going to just want to play a 4 mana 3/5. You're just going to hold on to it till you play at least 3 spells, and then you play it. Hopefully it's not too late. So this really only works if you get it early. You're getting it late, it's just going to fall flat. That's the one thing that's really going to kind of suck about this. Now, I mean, we'll see later on in the reviews that there are some, Naga draw synergies. So you're probably, like, for specific Nagas, like this one, because you definitely want to get it, you'll probably put them in there. Put those 2 in there, and then this one, just so you can draw, get to it, use its abilities for how well it works. I think Ignite would be awesome with it. Gosh, really any 3 spells. I mean, it'd be weird, I think, because the quest counts as a spell, but I don't think you'd want to play the quest again. Like that's the one kind of awkward thing is you start off the game, you play the quest, that's going to copy it, and then you'll be able to try to do the quest again. I mean, so that could kind of suck. I don't know if it'd fall into a quest mage, so probably not. We'll just have to see. But, I was kind of thinking, quest mage could work, because let's say it's in your hand, you play, hopefully not first, it's a weird card you wouldn't want right away, but you'd play a Fire, Arcane, Frost spell, right? Okay, that completes one portion of the quest. You play her, bam, you already have those 3 spells ready to do again. And so it helps make sure the quest is more effective. Hopefully. I mean, you have, like, for that, it's very specifically oriented. I don't know. We're going to have to see. It looks nice. Getting 3 spells that you've already expended sounds great. So I think it's going to be good. Alright, next up we have the Demon Hunter Legendary. It's a 2 mana. Oh, sorry. Hunter, not Demon Hunter. My bad. Wrong class. It's a 2 mana, 2/3. Raj Najan. It's a Naga. After you cast a spell, deal damage equal to the cost to the enemy hero. And this thing's going to be great. I can see this going into easily a Quest Hunter or any just spell-based Hunter deck. Because it's free damage to the face. Like, you can eliminate minions and deal face damage. Like, it's such a great card to really help you out in a pinch. To play it, bam, deal some damage to a minion, deal damage to them. You play Piercing Shot, excess damage rolls over, plus the cost of the spell deals 4 to their face. It's going to really work out well, and I'm super excited. And maybe, you know what? I'd have to look at the wording of the Hunter quest, because I don't know if, okay, never mind. This is dealing the damage, not the spell itself. I've just had to process that, so never mind. It wouldn't trigger twice. Anyways, I got a little crazy in my theory there, but it's still an overall great card, and I think it's going to have a big impact on Hunter. Alright, next up we have a 7 cost, 5/6, rare, Black Scale Brute. It is a Naga for Warrior. It does Taunt and Battle Cry. If you have a weapon equipped, summon a 5/6 Naga with Rush. Now that is 7 mana for 10/12 in stats. Right now, I don't know how well that's going to fit into a Warrior deck. I don't think it's going to really be that effective. Depending, if we get more weapon support synergy, I mean, Pirate Warrior really works well with it, but you wouldn't throw this in a Pirate Warrior deck because, well, it's not a pirate. And it doesn't do anything to help pirates. It just plays off of weapons. And so I don't know how well that's going to work. Mecca Shark. Now, I've noticed there's been a lot of different, mech-related mage cards. So this is a 3 cost, 4/3, aggressively statted Mecca Shark. And after you summon a mech, deal 3 damage randomly split among all enemies. Now, this is, I think, definitely going to be a later turn thing to combo up a lot of different things. So I don't know how well Quest Mage is going to do, but I think Mech Mage is going to be a thing, and I think it's going to be very meta-defining. I hope. At least I'm hoping. I'm going to give it a shot. It's going to be fun to play with, because this reminds me of Flamewaker, and anytime Mage would play Flamewaker all the time, and they would just lay into a bunch of different spells to deal 2 damage to split amongst all enemies. It could ping off tokens that they have, and it could really help to clear the board. And you play let's say you wait till turn 9, or turn 7 if you have a 1 cost mech. But anyways, you play this, then you play another one. So the second one you play is going to trigger for 3 damage. And then whatever mechs you play after that, that's 6 damage randomly amongst all enemies. And it's even beyond the minions. So, that could be, the board's clear, that's just damage to the face, just from playing things. And that's always good. That's always going to be good all the time. And it's even better than Flamewaker, I would say, because Flamewaker was a 3 mana 2/4 that dealt 2 randomly, and that saw a lot of play. So this, I think, will definitely see play. Next up, the Naga kind of synergy card that I think will be a very key element in any Naga-based deck, especially for a specific Naga you want to draw, will be Crush Claw Enforcer. It's a 3 mana, 3/4 rare neutral minion. It has Battle Cry. If you cast a spell while holding this, draw a Naga. And that's going to be good. I think that's going to work out. And obviously, if you're playing a Naga-based deck, you're probably also playing spell-based stuff too, because those go hand in hand. And this is a really great card. And it can work well in Mage, because Mage has a lot of spells. And it can maybe work well in Hunter if you're specifically trying to get that Legendary, or whatever other Nagas there are that you want to get. Both of those sets really well, one with really... they go great with spells. And also Priest. Priest has good spells. A lot of the other ones might not. Shaman, maybe. We'll have to see. Alright, next we have Baba Naga, Baba Yaga. It's a 4 mana, 4/4, Battle Cry. If you cast a spell while holding this, deal 3 damage. That's an okay card. If you cast a spell while holding this, it's not going to be in every deck. 4 mana, 4/4 isn't all that great. You want kind of Yeti stats with it, and if you draw it top deck, then you wait till you get a spell. because you're not going to want to cast it without casting a spell first. And so a top deck of it is just going to feel bad. Next up, we have Excavation Specialist. It is a 4-cost, 3/6 common with Battlecry and Dredge. Reduce the cost. Battlecry, Dredge. Reduce its cost by 1, which I think is going to be a great card. So as we know, Dredge allows you to look at the bottom 3, pick 1, put it at the top. And reducing its cost is going to be great. Anytime that you can set your deck up and make your stuff cheaper, really helps. And in Mage mech, if you can specifically get a certain mech in there and put it at the bottom of your deck and then dredge it up, it's really going to make it work very well. And I'm excited to see this one work. Alright, next up, we have the Priest Legendary Colossal. So now we've seen all the legendaries for Priest. This is Colossal +1 and Lifesteal. And so that means it's going to have 1 appendage. It's an 8/10. And let's see. Oh, oops, sorry. Its appendage is Behemoth's Lure. At the end of your turn, force a random enemy minion to attack the Blackwater Behemoth. And so that instantly guarantees at the end of your turn, you're going to gain 8 life. Hopefully, as long as there isn't a Divine Shield minion, because life still won't count for a Divine Shield minion. And so if it does pan out that way, I mean, it's going to be nice. So you're probably, your next turn going to have like an 8, let's say 5 or whatever on your turn, 8, 4 maybe. But it's still life still. You still gain 8 life. And next turn, if they haven't killed it, you're going to be able to use it again. Or if they killed your Behemoth's Lure, then that's going to kind of suck. But if not, then you're going to have the chance to attack and then force an enemy to attack it as well. So it's a good, I think, single target removal would kind of not feel so great with like a big board unless it's kind of in general statted minions and it doesn't really matter which ones are getting killed. Okay, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. I don't want to take up too much time. I want to make sure each one, feels good about, I don't want, like I said, I don't want you guys to be 40 minutes into this watching a whole bunch of video, me just doing a whole bunch of cards. But I'll do more on the next review, and I hope to see you all there. Thank you for watching. See you next time.